Here is the story for Rutgers, UCLA, and Maryland this year. You see the Scarlet Knights embarking on year 9 under Steve Pikiell, less than 18% of his minutes back from last year. But, oh, by the way, he is 2 of the top 3 freshmen in the nation, according to 247 Sports. Mick, Cronin, and UCLA, they return a ton of production, and they have a top 10 portal class. And Maryland, speaking of star freshmen, Derek Queen, one of the top 10 players in the country coming in. They bring back the outstanding Julian Reese as well under third-year coach Kevin Willard. And those 3 gentlemen join me now. Steve Pikiell, Mick Cronin, Kevin Willard. Welcome, guys. I want to get an opening statement, as I've done from each one of the coaches just on your team. Kevin, why don't we start with you and tell us what to expect from the Terps?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's, I really like the additions we added. Obviously, Derek Queen's a talented freshman. I think the biggest thing that we addressed in the portal was, obviously we struggled to shoot the basketball last year. And so everyone that came in through the portal and transfers were guys that can make shots. And excited about this team. They're a great group, still trying to get to know them, trying to figure out first names every once in a while. But for the most part, we brought guys in that can shoot, that could help complement Julian Reese and Derek Queen.
Mick?
Well, still trying to figure out who's who. We got 8 new guys. This is going to be every year, by the way, right? I mean, this is just the reality of the new portal era. So, we were able to this is crazy, Steve. You add a senior leader. You ever think you can get a guy, and we need a senior leader, and you can go get one in Kobe Johnson in the portal. Obviously, it's similar with Kev. We didn't shoot the ball well enough. We didn't score at the rate we needed to score last year. So hence all that points per game stuff. And then we needed to address Adem Bona going to the NBA, which he did a great job for us and was an all-league player. So we addressed that with William Kyle and Tyler Bilodeau.
Steve?
Well, we added 4 great coaches and 4 great programs. So a great league, became 18 deep. I felt good until you mentioned the 18% returning for my team. So I thought, practice has been good. We're undefeated right now. But, I'm year 9, so I'm excited about that. And we have a lot of new transfers. We did the same thing. We needed to get some guys that can shoot the ball. But I was really focused on getting toughness, like guys that were tough. And I think we brought in, some toughness guys and obviously, some talented freshmen that I'm very excited about. They can do a lot of things, multi-position guys. All 5 of them will play. And, we're just in the great league with great coaches, and you fight every day and try to get better and stay healthy.
I want to talk to the 2 of you about your history together. You spent time on Rick Pitino's staff at Louisville. So, Mick, I'll let you go first.
You see our reactions.
Describe the nature of your relationship there and how it's continued as you both embarked on being head coaches.
Well, we both had hair when we started at Louisville. Look, first of all, Coach Pitino's the best. So you got 30-something head coaches. But it is literally a training ground. So, and he's not messing around. So we spent a lot of early mornings together. Kev taught, I didn't drink coffee. He's like, you got to learn how to drink coffee if you're going to work for Coach Pitino. So, and then he told me, when we start playing at lunch, make sure we foul each other really hard when Coach Pitino's watching, so he won't start playing with us. We don't need him down here. So if he just started telling me, foul the hell out of me, foul the hell out of me. So, there's not enough time here for all the stories.
No, I mean, I came from the Boston Celtics, and I spent 4 years in the NBA and jumped over to college. And I was very lucky to have Mick. Mick really took me under his wing about the recruiting aspect, what to do. He actually gave me, he gave me a number one day, one of my first days on the job. I said, hey, I need you to call this kid. I think we have a real good shot at him. And I had no idea. So I called the high school coach. I talked to the high school coach. The high school coach is like, hey, hey, Kev, I really appreciate you calling, but do you know this kid's probably going to be the first pick in the draft? I had no idea. And the guy goes, yeah, it's, LeBron James. And he's sitting over there laughing his you-know-what off, and he's just egging me on. He's like, keep asking me questions. And so I always say, I recruited LeBron James really hard.
Yeah. That's a good tip. Yeah. He should have closed the deal.
And we've been friends ever since.
Oh, yes.
That's a beautiful story. Hey, I want to know a little bit about, UCLA basketball. I mean, you talk about synonymous with it's the winningest in terms of national championships, winningest program in the history of college basketball. So UCLA comes into the Big Ten. Like, what does it mean for UCLA basketball? How does it change? Does it change what you do, or do you just continue doing what you do and play different teams?
Yeah, well, look, when you take the job at UCLA, you have to try to you have to go in knowing, look, my job is to try to compete for national championships. You have to embrace the expectations. So I ran towards that, and I continue to do so. And it's an honor of my lifetime to have been the coach at my alma mater at Cincinnati, and now at the most storied program ever at UCLA. So that's just the reality that we're in at UCLA. So it's, for me, being in the Big Ten, I think I'm like the Grim Reaper, Dave. When I was in the Big East, it broke up. I mean, whatever league I'm in, it breaks up. So now, then the Pac-12 breaks up. So no, to be with for coaches, it's just another challenge.
Yeah.
Right. To get a chance to coach against, well, not this guy, but we're like family, man. So it's like the rest of the guys. It's just a great challenge. It's cool. Obviously tough for some of our. The honest answer is, for Don McLean, who's here working with Fox, and a lot of, Kareem and a lot of the guys, it's hard for them to get their head around it. But times change, and you got to roll. We're from California, man. You got to ride the waves.
I don't want to jinx it, but I think that your run of breaking up leagues is going to end here.
I hope so.
I feel like this one's on fairly solid footing.
I hope so.
So, Coach, I need the anticipation for this season at Rutgers is off the charts. I mean, it's the most anticipated season in Rutgers basketball history, and so much of it.
Well, Dave, I mean, sorry, Coach, I'm trying to defend you. I mean, why don't you make it a little harder on me?
So much of it surrounds, in a positive way, so much of it surrounds Dylan and Ace. And so what have you said to them about handling that, about handling this spotlight, about handling the expectations and everything that comes with it?
Those two kids, they're from great families. They're basketball players. I want them to have fun first and foremost. Rutgers Nation has been great. We've sold out 63 straight games at home, so the fan base has been tremendous. Our leadership with Jeremiah Williams and Zach Martini, a couple new players, has been great for the younger guys. But, I'm excited about that. I'm excited about the expectations. We always had high expectations. And now in a league with 18 teams, people are saying, how good are you? There's 18 teams. They're great coaches with great. I don't know where if you came to our practice yesterday, you would say, well, boy. And if you came a couple days early, you might think, hey, they're going to be pretty good. So we're trying to figure out some of that stuff. But, New Jersey's a great state. Rutgers a great university. And we play in the greatest league in the country. And now we've added 4 historic programs. So, it's just going to get better. It's going to be a fun year.
Kevin, you, as I hinted at earlier, and you mentioned him in your opening statement, you have a great freshman, too, in Derek Queen. Kind of the same question, but he gets paired with Julian. So what's that going to look like in the front court? How do those two mesh? And what have you said to Derek about?
Yeah, I mean,
this?
I think Derek's comes from a great family too. He's got a great group of people around him. He's wise beyond his years. And I think one of the biggest things was Derek was really excited to play with Julian, because Julian is, in my opinion, one of the best centers in college basketball. So he was excited not only to play with him but to learn from him. And so far in practice, Derek's like a sponge. He asked Julian questions. What do I do here? What should I do here? What's my counter move? And they really worked really well together. We have really high expectations for Derek, and I think Derek has really high expectations for himself. So embracing those expectations and saying, hey, this is who he is, this is what we're trying to do. But he has been great, and Julian has been a phenomenal leader. They're both from Baltimore. They both they played a little bit together in AAU in high school. So Julian's been great in taking him under his wing and saying, hey, this is the way we do things, this is how you do, this is how we act. And Derek's been great with it.
Mick, your roster additions are really impressive, and you brought back a lot from last year. A lot of people are picking you guys toward the very top of the league. When we visited, I was on campus in the spring, and you were telling me about kind of the challenge of, hey, how do we balance what we've got and go out and find the right players in the portal? What was that balancing act in terms of filling the holes you felt like you needed to fill, and you mentioned shooting and being better offensively, which clearly was an issue last year, but kind of where do you think you've made the most improvement?
We got older. You can't, I feel for Coach Pikiell here. He's going to try to win with some young guys, but they're lottery picks, so you got a shot. We were just not old enough last year. And the reality of college basketball, we need to get older. And we needed a leader, and Kobe Johnson's a huge addition for us. I'll be shocked if he's not an all-league player, when it matters in the postseason, when the votes are tallied up. He's a winner. He defends. He's as good a defensive player as I've ever coached. And I coached a National Player of the Year 2 years ago defensively in Jalen Clark. So we needed him right away. And then we added a lot of scoring, Sky Clark and multiple other guys in the portal, Tyler Bilodeau. So now he's got to put it together. It's almost like the Yankees. You got to go out and get a whole bunch of free agents and figure it out. So we're in the process of that, trying to develop some winning habits. But I like the fact that we're more talented. I like the fact that we're older. Now we just got to become a team that knows how to win.
Kevin, last year, kind of similar situation. You weren't a great shooting team. How have you looked to?
That's like the nicest way someone's put it so far.
The coach was the best shooter.
Yeah.
How have you addressed that?
We were dead last year. It's like, hey, this is great. We got older too. I think we had 5 freshmen on the roster last year. We played 3 freshmen over 25 minutes, which in this league I learned very quickly is a good way to lose a lot of close games. And I think the biggest thing for us was I have a great center. We have an incoming big guy coming in. We just got to put guys around them that are a little bit older, are going to enjoy throwing the ball in the post because they're going to get it back out. Jacoby Gillespie from Belmont was one of the guys that early on that we saw in the portal that was, we lost Jameer Young. We lost someone that scored 1,200 points in 2 years for us. I needed a guy that wanted to come in and take over that leadership role, take over the minutes role. Jacoby's there. And then I wanted someone, we needed another guard. Last year we were just 1 guard short. We lost 7 games by 3 points or less, and everything was on Jameer. So Selton Miguel for us was a guy from South Florida that is a guy that can go get a bucket. You don't have to run a play. Last year everything was manufactured. And when you have freshmen, as Steve's going to find out, sometimes you have to manufacture everything. A guy like Selton, Jacoby, just give him the ball and get out of the way. And that's sometimes, as a coach, that's the best feeling you can have.
Final thought from each one of you, and I'll ask you all the same question. What excites you the most about this year ahead?
I mean, this league always excites me. Going on the road, now adding UCLA trips to USC and Oregon and Washington. I mean, there's great camaraderie in this league. These coaches can flat out coach. I mean, Mick, I was at Stony Brook, and I think they threw the ball up at Cincinnati, and about 3 minutes later, I was telling the refs, keep this clock running because I got to get on this bus and get home. Like, the game was over. He was tough and physical and those kind of things. And to add the caliber of coaches and programs to an already great league in the venues now off campus is just – it's going to be exciting, and I'm excited for Rutgers and what we can be this year. And that's the new part of having all the new players and all that. Like you start off that year saying we could be great, and we can be. So I'm excited about that challenge.
Mick?
Well, for the 3rd time, I'm in a league with Rutgers. That's the most exciting thing. So the Big East, the American, and now the Big Ten. So I get to go back to the RAC for the 3rd, in the 3rd league. So
I hate that place.
But yeah, I mean, look, for me, I'm the basketball coach at UCLA, and I'm the only one person on earth that can say that. I turn left on Sunset Boulevard to go to work, Dave. Then that's how I look at it. And I do it with a lot better players this year. So it's a lot of pressure. I understand that. We have high expectations at UCLA to try to get the 12th banner up there, but there's nothing I'd rather be doing. So I'm looking forward to it, and I'm excited about our team. Obviously, we got all these new ingredients, but I turn left on Sunset, my friend.
So you're excited about the drive to work. You're the one person who's excited about the commute in LA.
Yeah,
sandals and shorts and sun in January.
you need to come jump on the belt.
You can have it, brother.
The belt
you
is
can have the
undefeated.
Parkway, and you can have the belt.
Yeah.
While I'm turning left and Bel Air's on my left.
Yeah, you were one lucky guy.
We'll give you the last word, Kevin. What excites you the most on this?
I actually, kind of what Steve said. I think this conference, a lot of people have talked about, you have to go out west, they have to come out east. I think we're very lucky the fact that we can play basketball from coast to coast. We hit Chicago in between. Our players are really excited to go coast to coast. I think it's something that's really unique, and I think it's something that I think the presidents and everyone that did this and got everyone involved in these new teams out west, I think it's really exciting for everybody. And I think we're going to prove that we're by far the best college basketball conference in the country.
That's a good way to finish. Kevin, Willard, Mick, Cronin, Steve Pikiell, thanks, guys. Really appreciate it.